Hello everyone, today I'm here to do a book challenge. I haven't done a book challenge in quite some time. I saw this challenge on a HaileyinBookland channel, which you haven't checked her out, please do, she's amazing. She made this challenge and I loved it so much, I was like, can I do it too? So that is what we're here to do. If you're unfamiliar with the Bookmoji challenge, I just tweeted and asked you guys to send me some random emojis for a video. I didn't say what video. This is what video they are for. So I have about 10 here. I got sent way more, but I was like, I had to cap it off somewhere, so maybe I'll do another one of these in the future because I love the ideas of these. Like pretty much what you guys did is you sent me emoji and I picked a book that kind of went with that emoji. So like I said, I have 10 here, so let's just get on with it. It's gonna be pretty fun and I'm pretty excited. The first emoji comes from Shannon over at Shannon Reads, and she sent me a spade, I wanna say. I'm really bad with cards and stuff. But that immediately made me think of Heartless by Marissa Meyer because this is an Alice in Wonderland retelling. It's not, she didn't send me the hearts card, but she sent me spade, which made me think Alice in Wonderland because of all the cards and everything, because I love this book. If you haven't read this book, I highly recommend it. It is a great retelling, not of Alice in Wonderland, but of actually the Queen of Hearts before she became the Queen of Hearts. So I guess you can call it almost like a prequel retelling? I don't know, but I loved it. The next emoji got sent to me from Jim over at Yeah. I love that username. And he sent me a tornado, like a little twister, which made me immediately think of The Waiting Sky by Lauren Zealand. I haven't talked about this book in a while, so I'm excited because I love this challenge because, you know, you bring up books that you haven't talked about in a while. This is actually one of my favorite contemporaries ever. It's very, very short. I'd say it's a definite underrated book. It's about this team of people that are storm chasers, which is really unique. But I mean, I picked this book because the girl's holding a tornado in a jar. One of my all-time favorite covers. I love the book. Highly underrated book. I highly recommend you check it out because it is awesome. The next emoji comes from Paige at OneGurgi1. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And she just sent me like a horse like on a carousel. So it's kind of like a carousel, but just the horse on a carousel. Does that make sense? I hope so. For that one, I went with Carousel by Stephanie Garber because this is all about a carnival. It just immediately makes me think of this book because they do talk about a carousel a lot in this book, particularly like the creepy carousel. But yeah, this definitely fits in with this book. And I actually have a review if it's not already up of this book. Check that out as well. It's a very, very interesting, very mysterious, and quirky read for sure. The next emoji was sent to me by Julia over at Turtle787, and she sent me the pizza slice emoji, one of my favorites of all time because I love pizza. That made me think of Saint Anything by Sarah Dessen. You're like, how does that make you think of this book? If you haven't read this book, this actually follows a girl and she meets a new friend, and her friend's family owns a pizza business. She quickly falls in love with that family and everything like that, but I really love that her family ran a pizza business. I just love the dynamics of that. So whenever I think of like, I don't know, books with pizza in them, because I don't think of that too often, I do think of Saint Anything, which this is one of my favorite Sarah Dessen books by far. So yeah, this one definitely gets all the pizza emojis. The next emoji was sent to me by Mary over at Sparkly Meekrat. She sent me a crown, so of course I had to go with 3 Dark Crowns by Kendara Blake because this is one of my favorite books, I've quickly learned. It's just, I didn't give it a full 5 out of stars because the pacing was a little slow at the beginning, but when I got into this book, It was such an amazing book. It's about 3 sisters that are vying for the crown. If you can't already tell, this emoji definitely fits in with this book, that is for sure. And if you're looking for a great fantasy read with women being in power and kicking butt and also having to kill each other, this is a perfect book for you. The next emoji comes from Sydney West over at Sydney Shelves. That's a hard tongue twister thing. And she just sent me the classic like crying laughing face emoji, which I use a lot. I don't use a lot of emojis, forewarning. There were so many that got sent to me and I was like, I have never seen that emoji in my life because I'm such a loser when it comes to emojis. But this one I do use a lot. So this one I picked is Everyone Hang Out Without Me and Other Concerns by Mindy Kaling. This is one that made me laugh very hysterically. Mindy Kaling books make me laugh. I always listen to like memoir type of autobiographies, if you will, on audio, which makes me laugh even more. So I highly recommend if you're interested in this book to listen to it because it will definitely make you laugh. And there were several times like I was laughing out loud a lot with this book. The next emoji comes from Emmy Bug over at Little Library, and she just sent me the sun emoji, and that made me think of Summer Days and Summer Nights, and this is 12 Love Stories, not edited by Stephanie Perkins. I picked this one. It has sun nowhere on the cover, but it's Summer Days and Summer Nights. It screams the sun because the sun's usually always out in the summertime. While not one of my favorite, I forget what they're called, like those categories, short story collection books, I still enjoyed it. I wanted a little bit more from it, if I'm honest with you. I was kind of underwhelmed, but It's still, I think, a great book to read, especially getting into this time of year where it's spring and summer, because it is light and fluffy, the majority of the stories are, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, when I see the sun emoji, I definitely think of this. I mean, look at the bright cover. That's sun. The next emoji was sent by Eleanor, and she sent me a ton, so I'm picking one out of them. She sent me a rocket ship, which immediately made me think of The Martian by Andy Weir, one of my favorite books of all time. Too much science fiction, and I definitely should because it is an amazing genre, but I love The Martian. The Martian is a great book, and if you've seen the movie and you're like, I bet the book, they probably butchered it. No, it actually was a great book to movie adaptation. It's one of the best ones I've ever seen. I highly recommend reading the book because it is amazing. It is full of a lot of technical jargon, with especially because he's a he has to plant things on Mars and things like that, and there's a lot of space talk that I have no clue of. I have like negative zero knowledge about science and space and all that stuff, but I still really enjoyed this book. I read this book alone for the character of Mark Watney. He is so sarcastic and funny and witty. One of my favorite books of all time. One of the best movies too. I think it's a great movie. And the last emoji I have got sent to me by Mariel and from Crowned Goddess, and she sent me like a palette of paint, or like, oh my gosh, I'm not a painter. Like, you know, when you're holding a palette, I want to say it's a palette. Is it? No, I'm not sure. You know what I'm talking about. You can clearly see the emoji. That's what I mean. And that made me think of the Sisters of Traveling Pants. Pick anyone you want. It makes me think of the character Lena in particular from this novel, because she's an artist and she paints and she draws. Whenever I think of an artist like a character, I always think of Lena because she is very artistic. She's definitely the definition of artist because that is what she is, and she's amazing and one of my all-time favorite characters for sure. So that was the Bookmoji tag. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was kind of a different video, but I thought it was very, very fun pairing emojis with books. If you want me to do more of these videos in the future, please comment down below and let me know, because I had a lot of fun doing this, and I think Haley made this great idea, and I hope it goes around because I think it's such an awesome and unique idea. You're pulling books from your shelves you wouldn't necessarily pull from quite often, so I loved how this was different and unique. Let me know if you want to see more of these videos because I loved doing them. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.